I think I've told you, but I struggled for like 19 years to clear my skin, and it only recently cleared up, which is so exciting. Like I would have been devastated if I'd went 20 years and I didn't see results. And it would go through phases where it got really bad and it would get better. And I've tried
Mm.
so many things, hormonal birth control. I was on Accutane twice and nothing worked. I tried so many dietary changes. And then finally, what worked is going strict carnivore, like zero carb, no dairy. And because at first I went carnivore because I was breastfeeding and my baby would get cramps when I ate fruit.
Uh-huh.
So I cut out the fruit, but I was still having dairy because I was nervous that going zero carb would reduce my milk supply. But then I
Right.
spoke to Dr. Anthony Chafee and he said, no, no, if you eat enough, your milk won't go away. So I gave it a chance. I ate a lot of extra meat and
Yeah.
then my skin cleared up, which was the most exciting thing. And yeah, so I'm very curious about your journey with your skin because I know you've had similar problems
Oh
and what
yeah.
finally worked for you.
Same, basically. But
Yeah.
yeah, it took me way, way longer, unfortunately. Well, I guess you and I we've struggled for a pretty long time. And yeah, same thing. I did Accutane twice, birth control pills for a few months, spironolactone for 2 years, um, every single drug, antibiotic. That was like probably the dumbest thing. I don't know which one is the dumbest. They're all pretty dumb decisions that I made, but antibiotics for 3 months, all the topicals. There's literally no drug prescribed for acne that I haven't been on. And I saw all the dermatologists. When I was in Lebanon, that's where I grew up, right? And I saw the dermatologist there. And then when I came to Miami to do my doctorate, same thing. Saw the dermatologist at the University of Miami, and they have no clue what they just clueless. It's like, oh, you have acne. What have you tried before? Oh, it didn't work. Let me give you Accutane again, or let me give you spironolactone, or whatever. It's just so freaking clueless. It just drives me mad. Can't I mean, okay, let's not go off on a rant. So, you know how it is. It didn't work. And then I had to do my own research and discovered The Acne Cure by Dr. Lauren Cordain. And it was the first time that I ever was introduced to anything outside of what I was being taught in nutrition school, that, there's something called the paleo diet, and that our hunter-gatherer ancestors, even though I guess we can argue about whether we really were gatherers. I think we were mainly hunters, but in his book, he's talking about our hunter-gatherer ancestors not having any acne, not even their children, their teenagers didn't even have acne. And so it was all about, he never even mentioned paleo as a word, I think, maybe at the end, but it was all about eating basically a Paleolithic diet. I tried it, it cleared up my skin, not as much as eventually I figured out that carnivore clears it way, way better because I was still doing a lot of fruits. So I was doing meats and fruits, but I mean, it was dramatic, like, I don't know, maybe 80% reduction. And then like what took me to the finish line would be carnivore. So yeah, it's been a very, very long road. And I didn't even do carnivore for my skin. I just realized that, okay, paleo helps me get off the drugs. And then over time, I started looking into diet for anxiety and sugar addiction and binge eating. And so that was a process to go from paleo to realizing that keto helps with those issues. And then from there, realizing, well, keto is great, but it doesn't completely eliminate the addiction because you're still doing keto treats. You're still very casual about how addictive sweet taste is. And so from there is where I discovered that carnivore is the cure for the binge eating and the sugar and the carbohydrate addiction, and that's how eventually I became a carnivore.